The meeting will please come to order. I'd like to thank everyone on behalf of all of my council colleagues. I am Trippy Congo, President of Wilmington City Council. Today is Thursday, November the 3rd. I'd like to thank everyone who has joined us virtually, as well as those who are in council chambers with us. Just as a friendly reminder for public comment, there is a Google Form sign-up link in the chat for anyone who would like to speak. Public comment will take place after non-legislative business. We're going to begin with an opening prayer by Akira Granado.
Heavenly Father, we have assembled to handle the affairs of our city. As we do so, we ask for your guidance and understanding. We pray that our city reaches a place of peace and safety. Keep us out of harm's way and bless those who are in authority. Let respect be key in all our endeavors. Amen.
Amen. I'd also like to have a moment of silence for Councilwoman Loretta Walsh. Okay, thank you. This time we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Gray.
Present.
Councilwoman Darby. Councilwoman Oliver.
Present.
Councilwoman Harley. Councilwoman Fields.
Present.
Councilwoman McCoy.
Here,
Councilman Johnson.
Here.
Councilman Field. Present. Councilwoman Cabrera. Councilman Mills.
Present.
Councilman Spadola. President Congo.
Here.
8 present and 4 absent.
Thank you. Council members Darby, Harley, and Spadola did ask to be excused. This time we'll have the reading of the minutes from the previous meeting.
October 20th, 2022, the City Council met in regular session with remote participation. The above date at 6:30 p.m. President Ernest M. Congo II presiding. The opening prayer was done by Kara Granado, Deputy City Clerk.
At this time, I move for the minutes to be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that the minutes be received, be accepted as written. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. This time we'll have our city treasurer's report.
November 3rd, 2022, total investment $505,458,175.87. Total cash on hand $12,033,936.23. Grand total $517,492,112.10. Submitted by Dwayne Sims, City Treasurer.
At this time, I move for the treasurer's report to be received, recorded, and accepted.
Second.
second,
It's been properly moved and seconded that the treasurer's report be received, recorded, and filed. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I'll accept the motion to move to accept all non-legislative business.
Second.
so moved,
Can we get a second, please?
Second.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to accept all non-legislative business. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. And we do have 3 in-person resolutions, recognitions this evening. I'm going to go first. I'm going to ask Councilmember Johnson, who is Chair of Finance, to come replace me as I bring up my honorees. Going to ask Keandra McDowell and her family to come forward, please. All right, thank you for joining us this evening, Keandra. and family. Whereas it is a sense of City Council to honor individuals and organizations who have demonstrated outstanding achievement and are deserving of acknowledgement. I would like to extend a special recognition to Keandra McDowell. And whereas Ms. McDowell is a Wilmington, Delaware native, she is a wife, mother, community leader, and police reform activist who is committed to equity and fair treatment for all Wilmingtonians. Whereas in 2017, Ms. McDowell received a full scholarship to attend Wilmington University. She has been a driving force behind reforming Delaware's use of force statute, which has been in place for more than 70 years. Whereas she has championed social justice causes, Ms. McDowell was named a Smart Justice Ambassador by the ACLU, which she uses as a platform to advocate for issues related to policing, prison, reentry, probation, and expungements. She has stood alongside the citizens of Wilmington for judicial fairness, Reverend Al Sharpton and Pastor Blaine Hackett, to support diversity on the Delaware Chancery Court. Whereas Ms. McDowell has a heart for her community, she spends much of her time coordinating activities that give city residents a reason to smile. One of the most prominent examples of these activities is the biannual Community Block Party, Jeremy McDowell Day, which is held in honor of her brother who was killed in a Wilmington police-involved shooting. Now, therefore, it be resolved by the Council of the City of Wilmington, we would like to commend Ms. Keandra McDowell for her community service and leadership in the City of Wilmington throughout the state of Delaware. And I'd just like to say, just personally, thank you, Keandra, for everything that you have done, and I know that you're going to continue to do for our city. I know that I can always count on you whenever there is an issue that regards anything that affects the citizens of Wilmington, to be out there championing for the citizens and championing for what is right. You never shy away from what most of us shy away from, and so I just thought that I had to recognize you just for being the lioness that you are in our community. I just want to thank you and just keep up the great work.
Thank you. I feel honored because I'm born and raised in the city of Wilmington, and I know a lot of the work that I do, you know, some respect and some don't. You know, you make friends and you make a lot of enemies, but I am very, dire. I love just helping the community. My main focus is our children, because what I understand through this whole process is through this fight, we're not really fighting for us because we're adults. We're fighting for our babies, and I just want to make it safe and around the community for my kids. I don't want to take my kids out of a community that I was born and raised in. I want them to be raised in the same area. I was born and raised on Rodney Street, 121 North Rodney Street. My great-grandparents was actually the first black people to ever live on Rodney Street. So I just like to kind of carry that legacy, you know, and just make my great-grandparents proud, my husband, my family, and my community. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'd like to call Ms. Christina Kelly forward, please, and anyone who is here to support her. Just like Keandra, Christine is also an advocate for the people, for the Wilmingtonians. Another lioness in our community who is fearless, who is always on the forefront, just advocating for what she believes are the basic rights of Wilmingtonians, and a lot of time, most of the time, is for those who are underserved and who don't have a voice, who don't use their voice. So whereas it is a sense of City Council to honor individuals and organizations, again, who have demonstrated outstanding achievements and are deserving of acknowledgement, and I would like to extend this special recognition to Christina Kelly. Ms. Kelly is a community organizer, a mother, and a small business owner who has been a voice for greater fairness and equity in law enforcement practices for all Delawareans. She began her She began in 2015 following the tragic death of Jeremy McDowell, resulting in the resulting findings from the Attorney General's office regarding the case. She is a smart justice ambassador with the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU, who uses her passion for police reform and her experiences to impact legislative change. And whereas she uses her skills as a research and data analyst to assist groups and organizations that advocate for systemic changes in policing. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Wilmington that this legislative body would like to commend Ms. Christina Kelly for her efforts to bring attention to police reform in the City of Wilmington and throughout the state of Delaware. Again, just want to thank you, both of you. I'm glad you guys came up here together. You ladies came up here together because, I mean, I just see both of you as leaders in our community. And I know you catch a lot of flack. You catch a lot of negative comments, but just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm so glad that you came to accept these recognitions. There are so many people who look up to you ladies and who look forward because they know that you are always going to have their back no matter what, no matter how controversial it is. If you feel that it's the best for Wilmingtonians, you're going to be right there advocating. So thank you both. I know you guys are like Batman and Robin, but but come on up, Christina.
So thank you, President Congo, and thank you. Short people problems, right? So thank you, President Congo and City Council members. It is truly an honor to be recognized by you all. Over the last few years, we have seen unprecedented positive movement in racial and social injustices across our small state. We've seen new and powerful leaders come to the table with inspiring ideas on how we can help to address these issues. From Councilwoman Darby's Jeremy McDowell police reform packet to President Congo's resolution sent to Dover in support of real action for police reform, we have made massive strides in regards to body cameras, use of force regulations, including banning chokeholds. But we still have a lot of work to do. We must acknowledge that police do not prevent crime and that the responsibility for preventing crime lies with each and every one of us as members of the community. We must demilitarize the police force that is seen in the communities daily. Why? Because humans become products of their environment. And when you live in what appears to be a war zone, you will act like you're in a war zone. To be able to do the work to get back to loving one another, we have to take away the destructive forces preventing it from happening. It's beyond time to acknowledge that increasing police presence and weaponry has done nothing to decrease crime. Rather, it's continuously increased violent crimes in our communities. Today, I ask going forward, I ask going forward for each member of City Council to commit to working with us, the civic associations, and the people that make up these communities in our city. That way we can come to real and practical solutions together. Today, I ask that we stop discussing adding more financially to the police department until they express their willingness to work on themselves and their own issues internally. I also ask that we start allocating those funds to programs and to people that are aimed at bettering the communities that we live, work, and play in. Today, I ask that we become a united force bent on reshaping the futures of our children and our grandchildren so that they too can love the great city of Wilmington that we have all loved for so long. Once again, I thank you, President Congo and City Council members, for this honor, and I assure you I will never stop fighting for liberty and justice for all. Before I step down tonight, I do want to remind everybody, next Tuesday, the 8th, you hold all the power. Get out and vote like your lives depend on it, because they do.
And I would like to end off Christina's public comment with, I hope that I have all you guys' support when I run for mayor in 2024. Thank you.
I'd like to call Councilwoman Oliver for her resolution, please.
Thank you. I'd like to call Councilman Al Mills up here because he's also has had this tragedy or this disease in his family. I'd like to call up the Sisters of Mission and whoever's here to Breast Cancer Organization. Could you all please come up? Okay, while they're coming up, this is Breast Cancer Coalition, Wilmington, Delaware, minority organization that has been very supportive of all women. Please come up here. Cynthia, could you come up here, please? Yeah. It must be yours. Stay right here. Okay. Councilwoman Xanthia Oliver is the sponsor. This is all from really all city council because this disease affects all of us. It doesn't matter what color you are. Whereas this is the sense of city council to recognize and acknowledge the numerous individuals and their families who have been affected by breast cancer in the city of Wilmington and beyond. Councilmember Xanthia Oliver would like to commend the Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition and Sisters on a Mission for their outstanding efforts to provide resources and support to those affected by breast cancer. And whereas breast cancer impacts hundreds and thousands of individuals each year, 1 out of 8 American women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. In Delaware, the American Cancer Society, ACS, estimates that there will be more than 1,000 new cases of breast cancer and 160 deaths due to this disease in 2022.
Good evening. Whereas beginning in 1985, the month of October has been designated as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The original National Breast Cancer Awareness Month was started to promote the importance of mammograms and in detecting breast cancer, The initiative gained support from First Lady Betty Ford, who was diagnosed with breast cancer while her husband, Gerald Ford, was in office. In 1992, the Breast Cancer Awareness Campaign adopted the pink ribbon as a symbol to honor those who have battled breast cancer. And whereas breast cancer awareness activities are now observed internationally to celebrate the courageous women and men affected by this disease and promote the efforts to inform the public about breast cancer, including early detection, prevention, risk factors, and early warning signs of the disease. And whereas the Delaware Breast Cancer Coalition has served 1,204 breast cancer survivors, has lobbied for legislative changes regarding breast cancer benefits, supported cancer research, coordinating 849 mammograms and 16 cervical screenings through its Women's Health Screening Program, provided $63,000 in financial assistance to residents diagnosed with breast cancer through the Breast Care Fund and through their annual breast cancer updates, attracted over 400 medical professionals, survivors, and members of the general public to discuss breast cancer in Delaware and beyond. And
whereas Sisters on a Mission's SOAM was founded in 1991 by Cynthia Church, who is a 31-year two-time breast survivor. The organization's co-founder are Shavella Oliver, who was a caretaker during our late mother's battle with breast cancer, and Geraldine McIntosh, who also a breast cancer survivor. At its time, SOM was the only African-American breast cancer organization in the state of Delaware. through their education and awareness and support group meetings and one-on-one conversations. This organization has provided a safe place for hundreds of women to give and receive support as they face their challenge of breast cancer. Now there be it resolved by the Council of Wilmington that this legislative body commends the leader and staff, volunteers, supporters of Delaware Breast Cancer, Cancer Coalitions, and Sisters on a Mission for their critical assistance they provide to those impacted by breast cancer in the city of Wilmington and beyond. We wish you continued success. And I'd like to say on a personal note, my mother passed from breast cancer, but Cynthia and her organization has helped so many women in the city of Wilmington, not just Black, but of all nationalities. And I'm just glad to be a sponsor along with all of our city council members at this time. Thanks a lot. Cynthia, could you please come up?
First, I'd like to say thank you to City Council for acknowledging us. It's been a long journey. As was stated, I'm a 31-year breast cancer survivor. Yes, that makes me 75.
And looking good.
And so I could not have done it all alone. So I am the founder, but I had two co-founders, Shavella Oliver and Jerry McIntosh. So although they could not be here today, we have a core team and supporters that are carrying on our mission to educate, enlighten, and empower women to follow through with their diagnosis and treatment and keep up with their doctor's appointments. And we've also expanded into supporting women with all types of cancer. So it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be a breast cancer, but it can be any type of cancer. And we're willing to talk to and provide support and resources as they are available to help them as they face the challenge of daily living. So with me is Nicole Surrett, and she's a health coach for life and also a breast cancer survivor. And we have Shay Robinson, who's part of the core team. Nicole's a member of the core team. Shay's a member of the core team. Vanessa Robinson, who is also a breast cancer survivor. Patty Byard, who is also a breast cancer survivor. So we have, oh, I have her name written down, sorry. Lynn Mitchell, who is a cancer survivor. And we have Dr. Nia Bailey, who is a radiologist at Christiana Hospital. And she has a documentary, and she has 3 survivors in it. And Lynn is one of the survivors that's being profiled in her documentary. So, thank you. So with all of these together and all of us together, when women call and say they need to know what to do or how to do something, there's always someone available to be able to help them understand what they're going through, find the resources that they can understand, ask questions, follow your doctor's orders, do your treatments. I'm still here 31 years later because of early detection, my mammogram, and it was detected early. So you're 10, 11. She's 11, 7. She's 7, 11, 3, and she's 5. So, and we're all survivors and, still doing the daily living thing, and everybody has their profession that they're doing. So should you or anyone need to be some support or need some information, feel free to be able to contact any one of us. I have cards. I have Nicole's card because they're real professionals. And Dr. Bailey's card for anyone who would like to talk to them about some service that they provide. And again, thank you.
I would also like to recognize Councilwoman Maria Cabrera, who has joined us.
Thank you.
And also to recognize some resolutions from other council members. And of course, from all council, a sympathy recognition for Council Member Loretta Walsh. from Councilmember Brigida Fields, sympathy recognition for Reverend John Holden. From Councilmember Oliver, sympathy recognitions for Barbara Temple, Elaine Cooper, and Marla Church. And from Councilmember Spadola, recognizing the 170th year anniversary for the Cayuga Center of Delaware. This time we will move into public comment. Again, as a friendly reminder for public comment, there is a Google Form sign-up link in the chat for anyone who has not had a chance to sign up yet. The time frame is around 3 minutes. Akira will give you a friendly reminder when you have 30 seconds left.
Go ahead and make some breakfast.
So at this time, we're going to ask for Deacon Errol Tate to please come forward.
Greetings. I want to say greetings to all young ladies and gentlemen, because this is a time that we got to take serious. Because next week is a time when we step up to the polls and we elect someone to represent us, and not we represent them. We are voting this time for yourself, being that you got to realize that all of this counts, working together for the United States, for the better Wilmington, Delaware, and the whole United States, because we are the ones who are now setting an example for our children for the future, because our children look up to us. So we got to set a good example for them. Just like me, I'm out there on the corner every morning crossing the kids, not getting paid for it, but I'm doing it because I love it. Because I love working with the kids, and I love looking after the kids. Because the kids are our future now, and it's time to take a stand and to represent all of them, because that's one reason why I said we need speed bumps here. We need more than just stop signs and stop lights. We need each other to participate in looking out for our children, because our children are our future. And I want to encourage all of y'all to get out and vote next week, because if you don't, you're not only hurting our kids and all, but you're hurting yourself. So it's time for you to get off your seat and do some activity for the better, recommend to all of us, okay? And don't forget, get out here and make a stand, okay. And don't forget to set your clocks back an hour Saturday before you go to bed. All right?
All right, thank you, Deacon Tate. I'd like to call on D. Marquis Hall forward, please.
Mr. Tate's a real survivor and a real fighter for his community, for his family, for the people. I'm grateful to be here. I want to make sure that last week, Monday, that the minutes contain all of the public comments So I have to ask if the mothers of the 17-year-old girl who was assaulted by Newcastle County Police at the football game, if those comments were recorded for that meeting. That's a question, because I haven't read all the comments that were approved tonight before I got here. So Rosalind Webb spoke first, her mother spoke after her. Were those comments recorded? That's a question.
This isn't answering. This isn't a question to answer, but I will acknowledge it after you finish speaking.
That's why I came. That's the main thing. And we have to do everything that it is that we can to protect our families, to protect our community, to do what it is that we have to do to provide some sort of resolve, some sort of result from the actions that we take. We don't want to just come and speak and cry. We are a trying people. We make efforts. We're not just a crying people. We do what it is that we have to do for our loved ones. That's why we come out here. That's why we stand up. That's why we speak out. This man, Earl E. Tate, who just spoke, comes constantly because he was ran over. He's a 5-year-old kid who got ran over. That's why he limps. That's why it's hard for him to get up here. But he still comes because he's a fighter. I can't say the same about everybody that represents. I'm not sure what everybody here represents. Dollars? Greed? Just show? Law and order? The American flag, which we stand and we pay tribute to, which we pledge our allegiance to. I pledge allegiance to the people. I pledge allegiance to my community. I pledge allegiance to my family. I pledge allegiance to my mother, who's down in Georgia. But she'll be here tomorrow. I thank God for my family. I thank God for y'all. Remember what's important. God, who created you, who you will have to give an account to. You prayed, Akira, and you always pray beautifully. I thank God for all of y'all. Just remember what's most important. Earl E. Tate always remembers what's most important. That's why he gets here. He knows God. We know who's not welcome here. In schools, at the end of football games, when police come and they beat up little girls, we know who's not welcome there. I thank God that I'm still here, that I'm still alive, that I'm able to fight. Now, the young lady who came up who was recognized today, Keandra McDowell, her brother was murdered. He wasn't just killed. He didn't show a gun. He didn't point a gun. He didn't fire a gun. He didn't have a gun. I don't believe. I thank God that I'm still here. And I thank God that y'all here. And I pray that y'all do better. Because y'all can do better. And y'all will. Elwyn on 11th Street. Mental health, services, restoration, all that. It's nothing right now. It's just an empty building that's being sold. Do something with it. The Delaware Center for Justice is just a few offices in the community service building. It could be job placement. It could be recovery. It could be mental health services. It could be vocational training. That building could be a community center. It could be for the seniors. It could be what our community needs. And I thank God that you guys allowed me to go over 2 minutes because I needed 5. I need more. We need more time to do what is right. And I will be back. Like I said, I thank God for being here, and I thank God that y'all here.
All right, thank you. Yes, all of our meetings, including public comment, they are recorded in their entirety. Just for, so you know, Mr. Hall and anyone who was viewing, all council meetings, including the public comment, are always recorded. Okay, I don't think that we have anyone else in chambers or virtual who signed up for public comment. So at this time, we are going to move to legislative business. Councilmember Gray.
Nothing this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Oliver.
Yes, Mr. President, I have an ordinance to present and call for the first and second reading.
Ordinance 22042, Agenda 0244, an ordinance to authorize and approve 2 one-year extensions of Contract 22029 PW Street Paving Phase 10 between the City of Wilmington and Sam's Constructions, LLC.
First reading of the ordinance.
An ordinance to authorize and approve 2 one-year extensions of Contract 22029 PW Street Paving Phase 10 between the City of Wilmington and Sam's Construction, LLC.
Second reading of the ordinance.
Mr. President, I move this be known for the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer to Public Works and Transportation Committee.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer to the Public Works and Transportation Committee.
Yes, Mr. President, I have another ordinance present and call for the first and second reading.
Ordinance 22043, Agenda 0245, an ordinance to authorize and approve 2 one-year extensions of Contract 23001 WD HVAC and related systems inspections and maintenance between the City of Wilmington and Summit Mechanical, Inc.
First reading of the ordinance.
An ordinance to authorize and approve 2 one-year extensions of Contract 23001 WD HVAC and related system inspection and maintenance between the City of Wilmington and Summit Mechanical, Inc.
Second reading of the ordinance.
Yes, Mr. President, I move this be known for the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer to the Public Works and Transportation Committee.
So moved. Second.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer to the Public Works and Transportation Committee.
Yes, Mr. President, I have an ordinance to present and call for the first and second reading.
Ordinance 22044, Agenda 0246, an ordinance to authorize and approve 2 one-year extensions of Contract 23002 WD Boiler Inspection and Maintenance Services between the City of Wilmington and AA Duckett, Inc.
First reading of the ordinance.
An ordinance to authorize and approve 2 one-year extensions of Contract 23002 WD Boiler Inspection and Maintenance Services between the City of Wilmington and AA Duckett, Inc.
Second reading of the ordinance.
Mr. President, I move this be known for the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer to the Public Works and Transportation Committee.
So moved. Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer to the Public Works and Transportation Committee. Any other legislation, Councilmember Oliver?
No, that will be all, Mr. President. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Fields?
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Councilmember McCoy?
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Councilmember Johnson?
No items tonight, Mr. President. Thank you.
Councilmember Field?
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Councilmember Cabrera?
Nothing this evening, sir.
And Councilmember Mills?
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. This time we're going to move to petitions and communications. And because I always seem to forget my main man, I'm going to start with you, Councilmember Mills.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to kind of piggyback on what Mr. Tate said and encourage our community to please come out and vote. It's an important election. And we need you. We need you guys to come on out. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on in Wilmington, and your voice needs to be heard. And Tuesday the 8th is the day to do it. Tuesday is the 8th is the day for you guys to come out and vote, and I truly appreciate that. So encourage the community and everyone to grab someone, grab a senior, anyone who needs a ride, please. The early voting is happening now, so please go out and take advantage of that opportunity. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. And because I know that she is going to forget something, I'm going to go to Councilmember Brigida Fields for the first round.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I have a save the date for, and this is me and Chris's, we share. Save the date, November 15th, 2022, 10 a.m. There's a ribbon cutting ceremony at Solomon's Court, Phase 1. Join us as we celebrate the grand opening of Solomon's Court. We will celebrate with a ribbon cutting ceremony, a press conference, and a tour of the building along with fellowship and refreshments. 1500 West 4th Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19805. Be ready, cdc.org. Is your criminal record holding you back? There will be join the Office of Defense Service, McCarter and English, and community partners at an expungement clinic on November 15th from 2 to 6 p.m. at the William Hicks Anderson Community Center, 501 North Madison Street, Wilmington, Delaware. They do ask you to pre-register. Walk-ins are welcome, and financial assistance is available. Please go on my Facebook page. I do have this flyer up, so you can scan the QR code if you like, or you can go on the Office of Defense and find the flyer as well. Councilwoman Brigida Fields and the Department of Parks and Recreation are hosting the 43rd Annual Senior Citizen Luncheon and Award Ceremony, Thursday, November 17th, 2022, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., William Hicks Anderson Community Center, 501 North Madison Street, Wilmington, Delaware. The City of Wilmington Department of Park and Recreation is committed to providing programs and activities which serve and complement the residents of our community. We consider it a privilege to continue the legacy of Ms. Fraulein Trotter as we celebrate our seniors. For more information, please call William Hicks Anderson Community Center, 302-571-4266. Thank you. Oh, see.
See?
I'm sorry, everyone. I have two quotes that I would like to say. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome.
Karma moves in two directions. If we act virtuously, the seed will plant well results in happiness. If we act non-virtuously, suffering results. At the center of the universe is a loving heart that continues to beat and that wants the best for every person. Anything we can do to help foster the intellect and spirit and emotional growth of our fellow human beings, that is our job. Those of us who have this particular vision must continue against all odds. Life is for service. Fred Rogers. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Gray.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm just going to echo what everyone else is saying. We need to get out and vote on Tuesday. It's a holiday, so for a lot of people, there's no excuse. It's very important that we use our right to vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I'd like to thank Edie Pritchett and the staff from Rose Hill Community Center. They have funding from the state and the federal government, and they have been in the 3rd District, throughout the 3rd District, assisted individuals to pay their water bill and their electric bill. So if anyone needs their electric bill or their water bill paid, I would advise you to contact Rose Hill Community Center, or you're able to walk in there, and they're open from 8 o'clock until 4 o'clock, and that's out in Newcastle, Delaware. But they are paying, they have plenty of money, so it's no reason anyone should have their electric bill turned off this winter, or their water bill, because they have plenty of money. They have serviced over at least 300 residents in the 3rd District, and just advise people to make it out there or just walk in. Next, I just would like to echo what everyone else is saying. Let's get out the vote. November the 8th, it's next Tuesday. It's important that we, let our voices be heard. That's all we do have is our vote. So please get out and vote. Thirdly, this is the final year for the Storman's Classic Turkey Drive. And he will be supplying turkeys for the senior high-rises, which he's been doing for over 40 years. So this will be the last year, and it's taking place, I want to say, the 21st of November. And lastly, I received a couple calls from some black firefighters. I didn't realize that there are no black captains, and there's some promotions coming up. And I would ask the staff to contact Demetrius Todd, who is the president of Guild Blazers, black firefighters, and have them come in so we can hear their perspective. I just didn't realize it for some reason that there are no captains, and they are, I've received 3 calls to the city of Wilmington asking why they're not, so I said I would follow up on it. And with that being said, that's it, Mr. President, that's all I could think of right at this moment.
Yeah, I got them.
All right, thank you. You said this is the,
I received emails as well. Okay. So yeah, I'm with you.
you said this is last year that,
Yeah, this is the
for
last.
the turkey drive?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
He's married, and he's like 40 years. He said he's getting old.
All right. Definitely want to thank Norman Oliver and all of his team for 40 years of generosity for the people of Wilmington, giving out probably almost hundreds of thousands of turkeys over those 40 years. So just want to thank him. Councilmember McCoy.
Yes, I just would like to say thank you to Quincy Watkins of Milk and Honey for the new initiative that he actually has in the 6th district. Yeah, kind of like a soft open, just so that the people in the community were able to see what his new space looks like. The address was it's 929 Linden Street. So we were very impressed, and we're very happy to have someone actually want to be engaged and invested within our community. Also, I definitely want to state, I want to also reiterate what everyone's stating about getting out to vote on November 8th, but please keep in mind that we have early voting going on as well. So early voting is taking place, it started last Friday, it's going to be taking place all the way until Sunday. This week, it looks like it's from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and that will be for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then they will take a break on Monday, and then come Tuesday, everyone will be voting. So the address is 912 Justin Street. It is right next door to the Planet Fitness at the riverfront. I think it used to be the old Boy Scouts place or whatever, but it's right on the corner. You can't, if you know where Planet Fitness is, you can't miss it. So I do encourage everyone to take part in the early voting if November 8th isn't convenient. This has been a great practice for Delaware. I'm so glad that more people are taking advantage of it. That's all that I have.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Johnson.
Yes, would like to first make an announcement that the West Side Innovation Grants are actually due at midnight tonight. I know we've been spreading the word that there is a new round of grant funds for small businesses in the West Side, up to $10,000. Please go to westsidegrows.org /small businesses to make sure that you apply. We have a committee that looks at these grants. I believe I'm on the committee, Councilmember Fields as well. We like to see our businesses succeed. We've actually had quite a few small businesses pop up over the past few months, actually. I mean, there's even a new great eatery in the 8th and Union spot at 807 North Union and South Union. There's a few other bakeries coming, so we've got a lot of action on the west side. You can't overlook us. So please apply for the grants, whether it's assistance moving in. We are really hands-on working with our community partners, so please apply. Just on the council side, there is this upcoming Monday, November 7th at 5 p.m. is the Finance Committee meeting. Again, we have a lot going on with the city, a lot of action all over the city in terms of us trying to still get out of COVID. And it's important that we pay attention as it will be budget time before we know it. So please tune in again Monday at 5 p.m. And just to not to belabor the point, but please go to Department of Elections website if you do not know your polling place. It's very crucial, and I encourage everyone to vote early here. And as a public service announcement, we do have a lot of our neighbors, not necessarily in Delaware, but throughout the country, we have a lot of important races that a lot is in the balance. So if you have a few extra spare moments, make some calls in Pennsylvania, make some calls, in Georgia, because you can do them right from the comfort of your home. So again, we encourage everyone to go out and vote and encourage those to vote. And last but not least, it is always important to share great things that's going on in the community that builds our community. We do have a local team in the World Series, so please support. I know a lot of schools are doing the Red October. It's nice to see something positive because we're always faced with so much negative things that are happening to the community. So it's nice to see the community be uplifted by something positive. And seeing a diverse team, that's from here, bringing a championship home, hopefully. So the World Series is tonight, so please tune in and pay attention. And otherwise, be safe out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Field.
Yes, I have two announcements. Recently, I've met with senior residents of Lincoln and Luther Towers, and one of the major complaints, I wouldn't say complaint, but an issue that they brought up is how can we make the DART bus service more rideable for seniors? And I recently met with DART and we scouted out, and specifically they are looking for potentially an additional bus stop on Pennsylvania Avenue, or at least a roof over some of the benches on Pennsylvania Avenue, because sometimes if it's cold out or if it's snowing or if it's raining, it's not very comfortable to sit at a bus stop with no roof. And that was one of the things we've been looking at with DART to see what can be done. It's not quite as simple as some might hope, because in some cases the property it's private property, but we're working hard on that. And I hope we can do some things to add more shelter for bus riders to make the experience for seniors riding buses more enjoyable. And second, one of my goals as the 8th District representative is to keep people as informed as possible on whatever the local issues are. And every 2 or 3 months, I put out a newsletter on all the important local issues in my district, and I distribute it by either email or regular mail. So if you are watching and you would like to be added to the mailing list, please send me a text at 302-530-6626. That's 302-530-6626 with your name, and I will add you to the mailing list. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilmember Cabrera.
Thank you. I do want to mention that this Sunday is the Senior Thanksgiving Ball, one of my favorite events of the year. That starts at 5 p.m. at the Chase Center. And even though all the tickets are gone and it's sold out, just a reminder to those who are planning to attend that you must bring your ticket. And if you do need transportation, reach out to your contact person to make sure that you can get there as well. I'm looking forward to it. It should be called Dancing with the Seniors, and I hope I can keep up, because let me tell you, when they don their fancy outfits on and their comfortable dancing shoes, and maybe not so comfortable, but they got to be comfortable the way they be dancing. It really is something hard to keep up with them, but it's a good time for all. So I'm hoping to see our Wilmington seniors there. And while we're on the topic of voting, here in Delaware, obviously there's local elections. Everybody should come out and vote. You have an opportunity to vote until Sunday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. is the last day of early voting here in Wilmington, Delaware, at the Shipyard Shops, 912 Justice Street. Again, Sunday will be the last day for early voting, so you don't have to worry about taking off Tuesday. If you're not able to get off, you can still make your vote count. And if you have friends or family in battleground states across the nation, especially in Pennsylvania, these elections are very important, especially in Georgia as well. We have some very close races, and we have the President of the United States is from our state, from Delaware, Joe Biden, and without keeping that House in the Senate, we're not going to be able to get that agenda through. So if we're and this is going to impact us here on a local level. So I think people really need to understand the seriousness of how important these elections are. So with that, that is all that I have, Mr. President. Thank you.
All right, thank you. It's no secret that our public safety units, departments, police and fire, have not hired or promoted black and brown the way that they should have. So I do want to thank you, Councilman Oliver. You said that that's going to be a part of the Public Safety Committee, or
Yeah,
that conversation?
Yeah, it can be.
Okay.
That'd be
Okay. All right. That's extremely important.
Councilman Phil said she received a couple calls too. I
Okay.
just got them.
And there has been progress. I don't want to I don't want to not acknowledge that, but not enough. I mean, I want to make sure that they know that we're still paying attention and that we're still advocates. So definitely looking forward to that conversation. As council member Cabrera just mentioned about the senior ball, it's definitely a great time. So I encourage council members to come out. Like she said, just dance with the seniors. It's extremely fun.
Competitive.
Very competitive. Really good time. So if you don't have a ticket, I do feel for you, but we will be there having a great time. Please join us every first and third Thursdays down here at council chambers. If you can't, we are still virtual, but we would love to have you in council chambers with us. Beginning at 6:30, we welcome all public comment. If you have any questions or concerns, you can call us at our office here at City Council at 576-2140. Again, our number is 302-576-2140. Again, city office will be closed on November 8th. So just please keep that in mind also when we, for the election, city offices will be closed. And with that, I do want to thank everyone who joined us this evening in council chambers. Thank you so much, Deacon Tate, for being one of the community members who definitely steadfast, who have, since I've been on council, you are definitely the most attended community member. So we appreciate you for not giving up and just always keeping a reminder that we need to keep safety first. And with that, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Third.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you for joining us. Meeting adjourned.
Good night, everybody. Have a great week.